Where am I getting that feedback from? Hopefully my audio is in sync. Maybe not. Probably not. Anyway, good evening. This is Neil VK3BCU, and it's Tuesday night. Time for the amateur TV net. So I'm not sure about the audio, but at least you're hearing me, even though it may not be in sync. People that have checked in this evening are Mark VK3PI, Fred VK3ZAQ, Steve VK3TTF, and John VK3JCO. Unfortunately, I did miss the party on the weekend. Things came up out of my control, and I actually haven't even been able to watch the replay yet, but I hear it did go very, very well. So first up this evening will be Peter VK3BFG, followed by Clint VK3CSJ, and then Clint, if you could put it straight back to me. So welcome everyone once again to the net. To all the stations that have checked in, all the stations that we'll be watching on YouTube through Richard VK3 VRS's YouTube feed. So you can watch the net through RF, which is what we like, or Richard's VK3 VRS's YouTube feed, Discord, and hopefully the BATC stream. So if you're ready, Peter, everyone please switch across to RTV1 right now, and you can watch Peter on RTV1. Take it away, Peter.
Thanks, Neil. I think I've got audio there. Yep, should be okay. Well, good evening. I'm Peter, VK3BFG. A little bit weary after the weekend. Interesting time, that's for sure. Awkward, absolutely, to Richard, VK3VRS. Without him on Saturday, I'm not sure how we would have got through it, but he was a tremendous help, and of course with his extensive IT experience and knowledge, he had a wonderful setup. I'd like to thank Art, W8RMC in Columbus, for his participation. Also Bill, AB0MY in Boulder, Colorado, and Roland, KC6JPG in Los Angeles. So we had all of our usual American contacts, and they, of course, were able to bring in other people from their various nets. We then, in the afternoon or late, early evening actually, went to UK via Martin Sharman, G4 Foxtrot Kilo Kilo, and that was contacts via the Q0100 satellite. So we had stations from quite a variety of different places, which is always of great interest. And also Bill AB0MY actually turned up, which would have been about 4 AM in the morning at that time. So yeah, it was interesting. We had one or two bugs. But as I mentioned, Richard was absolute gold, that's for sure. The SRT system worked mainly, but just occasionally not, and we'll have to look at that because it's a very important part of how we get the signals in. Also to Bevan and the guys over in South Australia who participate. Bevan, VK5BD, and of course you'll probably know Bevan does the Wireless Institute broadcast, and he was on the ATV till sort of mid-evening, and he hadn't even done this WA broadcast yet. So I think he would have been up in the wee hours to get it out, because it did actually go out. So great stuff there, Bevan, and to all our friends in South Australia, and also condolences for your loss with USK there. It's unfortunate, but it's a part of life. Anyway, look, I thought I would show you just a short segment of the ATCO Daro net, which was hosted by Art out of Columbus, and it's actually a net between the guys in Columbus and the guys in Dayton, Ohio, in the same state, of course. But Art has just, well, he's been developing this over quite some time. What he calls the Versatune receiver, and it's capable of DVB-S and DVB-T both. And the main blockage has been the software development and his reliance on a gentleman who is full-time and only has a very limited amount of time to develop. But he does actually have a working prototype right now, and we saw it, and he just described what sort of things can be done with it. So just stand by for a sec and we'll be with Art.
Again, my name is Art Towsley. My name, or is called WA8RMC. I'm with the ATCO group here in Columbus, Ohio, USA. I've been a ham since 1965, so that, and it's been exclusively ATV, analog up until the last 4 or 5 years, where we've switched to digital. I operate the ATCO repeater here in Columbus, which is input. I've got digital on 423 and 428 and 427, and analog on 439. We got 1280, and also we gave up on 2.4 gig, but we still got the 10 gig transmit and receive still operational. It's 100% operational at this time, although there have not been very many people operating through it. But we're operating both the analog and the digital here, so that it works out pretty good. Pretty high elevation, 650 feet above street level, and that so it makes it the location is optimal. The product that I've been working on that some people have talked about is what I call my Versatune digital ATV receiver. It's a complete self-contained receiver. I've got a picture of it right here, and that we've been working on it for a number of years here now, and it's I've got the hardware all finished. The hardware is operational. The back of the software is the tough part. The guy that's doing the software, he lives in quite a ways from here, but we work on Zoom. But he does the software part-time. He's got a full-time job, and that it makes it kind of tough. He works on his full-time job at his home 8 hours a day. Then they have supper, and that then after supper he wants to watch a little bit of television. And after television he says, "Oh, the heck with it! I'm not going to do any software for our Versatune receiver now," and he hits the sack. So it goes. It happens quite a bit. So we spent about 4 years on it now. It is operational. It's a full digital ATV, DVB-T, DVB-S receiver. It will run down to under 100 kilohertz bandwidth on DVB-T, up to 6 megahertz down to 100 kilohertz. It gets a little bit tough locking in anything below 100 kilohertz, but it will do slightly below that. Rick, it does work okay at 1 megahertz, so that, but it is totally self-contained.
Quick question, if that's okay.
Sure, go ahead.
How do you manipulate the controls? Is that done with a computer connection?
As a matter of fact, yes, it is. The setup is completely through HDMI port, set up on a PC. and that it's all controlled from the Versatune receiver, so you don't have any DVB or CD or DVB-T or DVB discs to put in there. It's all self-controlled out of the receiver. So, and it operates directly from the HDMI port or the USB port. And we've also got streaming out the Ethernet port. So if you wanted to put a remote PC on it, you could receive the data complete signal out of the Ethernet port also. So the heart of the unit is a Raspberry Pi. I've got I'll open it up just quickly here. Shows you what it looks like. It shows you got some of the jumpers in there with the prototype.
Wow, that looks pretty interesting.
It's the Raspberry Pi is on the one corner.
Okay.
Raspberry Pi is down there in that corner there, and this is another interface board that plugs right into the GPIO ports of the Raspberry Pi.
Very nice. If this ends up being a successful function, would there ever be a consideration of doing a transmitter modulator?
One thing at a time.
Right.
I'd say yes. I'd like to do a transmitter. We've done the DATV Express transmitter before, and that we discontinued it a few years ago because the sales were dropping down. But there is some talk about doing an enhanced version of that and come out with another DATV transmitter. But if it is, I would make it a companion unit for this. But we got to finish the Versatune first.
Sure, no, I understand that.
Yeah,
I just was wondering if there's some interest in it.
I'd like to say we'd have this thing ready by the end of this year, but I've said this before, the light at the end of the tunnel has always turned out to be a train, and that makes it very, very tough in that regard.
It makes a nice stocking stuffer.
Yeah, I don't want to quote prices at this particular time, but it's we're going to try and keep it under $200 for the complete receipt.
That's fantastic, really.
With the power supply and everything. So, but okay, that's enough for me. Does anybody else got any comments?
Pete's got his hand up.
Yes. It's two separate inputs, DVB-T and DVB-S, two connectors on the back. The top one is DVB-T and the bottom is DVB-S. Got the USB ports in the back, and also there's a DB9 connector for the I/O connector so that you can monitor some of the functions and the channel. It's a scanning receiver that so there's up to 7 channels of scanning, and when it's not scanning channels, it does have a slideshow capability that you can put in whatever JPEG or movie file that you want as a slideshow. It'll transmit, well, in the slideshow you can have either a fixed image, or if you wanted to put a .mov movie file in there, it will transmit movie images. So that, and there's some other features that we have on it also, but I won't go into any more details at this time.
Yeah, understand. Well, now I understand you guys speak a lot about your repeaters and modifications of repeaters, and then I also understand, including you've been working on a repeater. Occasionally, from what I understand, you have to go back up the mountain, so to speak, and reset or restart the system. Has anybody considered perhaps using some of these, what I would say, automated switches, such as WISE or so, to repower the unit up? I understand they can handle some substantial currents,
Yeah,
and they're very available. Go ahead.
Our repeater, I can remotely control any of the inputs. There's a automated power switch, DTMF controlled, and that we have through 2 meters through 147.48, and also there's a UHF channel that we can power down and power up any of the separate modules on the whole repeater.
Oh, okay, very
We
good.
can do a remote startup of any of them.
Oh, okay, very good. Well, that sounds very interesting and exciting, possibly, hopefully in December.
Sounds great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you do the phone. Oh, I just want to say this, the VersaTune receiver is also controlled. You can control it with your smartphone.
Okay, that's about it. It went on then to the ATCO Dara net, which went for another 25 minutes or so, and I've got all of that in the can actually. So perhaps we can see bits of it maybe next week. But anyway, that's all for me for tonight. I think I've now got to hand it over to Clint. So VK3CSJ in Narre Warren. This is VK3BFG in Wantirna South. Over to you there, Clint.
One, two. Good, excellent. Took a while. Okay. G'day everyone. Takes about 30 seconds for this little high des thing to boot up. It doesn't go straight to 1 watt, it sort of steps up. And finally when it reaches 1 watt on the meter here, that's when I know I should be getting into the repeater. So anyway, it seems to be working. Good evening, everyone. And wasn't it a fantastic QSO party? Goodness, I mean, I think it's the 13th one. So looking forward to catching up with the replays. So the crosses to America were fantastic. Always audio problems, isn't it? I think we just have to give in to the fact that there's always going to be some sort of audio issues, even though the vision side of it's been quite good. But I thought the station out at Pitcairn Island was particularly good. I think he was there last year as well, actually, but that view out his window over the ocean was to die for. So yeah, really, really good stuff. And of course, then when we crossed to the UK in the evening, I actually had to ask, was all this coming by the QO100? Now, I think the telltale sign was the 10 gigahertz information in the top corner of the screen. So, and of course, I think I asked around about the time the ZS6 station was coming up, and I thought, well, he's got to be coming through the satellite. So we definitely need our own satellite here. But no, it was a good day, and thanks to Peter and Richard for pulling out all stops to keep the show running. It's definitely, I can appreciate the order of magnitude. So good on you, Pete and Richard. I tip my hat. If I was wearing a hat, I'd tip my hat off to you again for an excellent production, and yeah. So look forward to next year's event. But anyway, that was good, and well done. The only other thing I could say here is I'm waiting on my pier to come from my dome, just in case you're not sure what I'm talking about, I can show you the sort of thing I'm talking about when it comes to the scope dome. You can see in this image here, there's a concrete pillar at the bottom. This is a big, huge mass in the ground, and the deck is made around it, but it doesn't contact it in any way. It's isolated, so any movement on the deck is not transferred through to the pillar of which the telescope is mounted on. So that metallic tube in the middle there, referred to as the pillar, is what I'm waiting on. 600mm long pillar with those, you can see the mounting kind of brackets on it. That may very well turn up tomorrow, but I'm expecting it sometime this week. It's taken a while actually, because it had to be welded and painted and anodized and all that sort of stuff, whatever they do. And there's also an adapter plate that runs between the top of the pillar and the mount that the telescope goes onto, and it's a special plate because it has to adapt to the mount that I've got, which looks like this. So from the top of the metal pier is an adapter plate that goes from the way it's bolted, the way it's designed at the top, to the way this NEQ6 mount is fitted. Because traditionally this is mounted on a tripod, as you can see in the picture. It's the way Celestron or the people who make the NEQ6 is designed for a tripod. But if I want to mount it onto a metal pier like this, get rid of the tripod altogether, then it needs to be adapted. So this is the control motor, computer controlled motor control arrangement for the dish, for the telescope, the telescope. So until I get that configured inside my dome, and then I can then mount that, and then I can mount the telescopes. I've got 3 telescopes to worry about, so all good fun. I can start from there. So that's about the only update there, because I've been waiting. The order went in around May. All these things take time, don't they? But the order went in around May, and I know the folks out there at Sidereal Trading have been pretty busy with other things, and they don't have a whole lot of staff. So yeah, patience is a virtue, as they say. And probably the only other thing I'll mention is I think some of you are aware that I possess an IC 905. I'm one of the club of the 905s. It's still in the box, actually. I haven't taken it out yet. But I'm organising for a 10 gigahertz transfer to the dedicated thing and the dedicated ICOM dish. Pretty expense, but I'm squeezing it out of my super fund, which I've got a little bit to play with for myself. So anyway, I'm organising a purchase of those 2 items. So I'm not sure how long it'll take to get here, but looking forward to getting that as all part of the 905 setup, which I'm basically thinking of having it all up on top of the Nelly Tower. Still thinking about the idea of taking things portable, like a lot of you other blokes that do that, but mumble. But I'll anyway, at least if I can get something running here in the home station, then I can become that little reference point. Let's point the system at Clint's place and see if he can hear us. So, like, if Clint can hear us, then anybody can hear us. That's not necessarily true, I know that. Anyway, I'm looking into that right now. What else? Was there anything else? I don't think so. Anyway, I think that's really about it in a nutshell. My 2 black cats are mucking me around tonight. They're chasing ghosts. Things are falling all over the place. Anyway, all right, back to you there, Neil. Thanks for running it, Neil. Good to see you up there. And g'day to everybody else that's watching as well. And again, excellent job to Pete and Richard for the party on Saturday. Excellent stuff indeed. All right, across to you, Neil. Everybody can go across to RTV2. Yep, that's it. So this is VK3CSJ, Narre Warren South. Thank you, guys.
Right, thanks Clint, and I'm still not sure about my audio, but it doesn't matter. There are a multitude of handhelds on the market, hundreds of them, and most people would be probably familiar with the UV5R right there, which I have one, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have got them. And we now have the UV5R Mini, which I've just recently purchased. So hopefully, I've got this awful delay on my return video. It's really confusing me. So there's the UV5R, really, really nice little radio, very clean apparently, sits in the hand quite nicely. UV5R Mini, $38 on AliExpress, unbelievable. So some of you guys might be interested in that. Also, something I picked up during the week is a very, very cheap video switcher. Doesn't compete with the ATM or the OC, but it's very, very, very cheap and nasty, I suppose. Robert IE has got one. He's tested it. Seems to work okay. So I'll just switch across to there. There we go. About $170 delivered. So might be something that some of you guys might be interested in. Very, very, very cheap video switcher. And the brand name is RULLZ. RULLZ. So, yeah. Okay, we're going to switch across to Mick VK3CH right now. So if you're ready, Mick. Unfortunately, I forgot that you're coming up on T. I'm on S, so it's going to be a very, very clunky changeover. So take it away, Mick, VK3CH.
All right, so we're there, and just momentarily, yes, got the audio. Okay, good evening everybody. Mick VK3CH operating out of Doncaster. Yes, I echo the words of everyone. Peter and Richard did a fantastic job with the QSO party. Now hopefully I'm going to remain staying in. I did jack up the power by watts, which probably isn't much. But if it's on the edge, it might help. No, dropped out momentarily, or at least my TV said I did. All right, before I forget, this bloke that I wanted to visit to do this 5.7 gig project, he's available tomorrow, so we'll visit him and get a few things cut with an angle grinder, because I'm not doing it with a hacksaw. And yeah, that's all I really need, just 4 cuts made with an angle grinder, and then that's it. So then I'll finish the rest. So that'll be a start. What else? What else have we done? We have nearly finished our... Hang on. Oh, I've got to do that. All right, still got audio. Yeah. Starting to write up our bit about the QSO party. I've pretty much finished it, so the magazine that we scribble. So it's got a bit of what we sent up there that you would have seen on the weekend. So and then my bit about recording the event. I got adapters for a hard drive. You can plug your hard drives into the side of it, as you see there in the picture. USB port. That means I can just use some spare hard drives. The one on the right is a 3 terabyte drive, so a little bit bigger than your memory sticks, so very handy. When you wanted to change channels with the set-top box, it won't let you. You have to stop recording, change channels and start recording again, so a bit annoying. Yeah, you guys, if you've got a Stream Deck and your software's gone up to version 7, there's a free virtual Stream Desk that you can run. Just Google that, and yes, I've installed a little very basic one. Anyway, so we've took a few stills off people. There's Peter starting it, and then just the various crosses across various parts of the world. I haven't got any of them. I put someone's wrong call sign in, so I might just dropping out again. Dropping out. We seem to be on the edge. Yeah, we're on the edge again. Anyway, you get the idea. So various stills of people that came up, and that's sort of those sessions. And to come back. So anyway, I won't. Alright, I've got a short video I can play. We're going to drop out, but we'll see how we go. House next being built next. They've decided their land is that. Now if I cut that, alright, I'll go back to here. And just noticed that there's a 20 centimetres of land that they decide belongs to them. So no paperwork, no notification, just a stake in the ground. We asked the builder guy, what does this mean? Oh, that's a corrected boundary. That's the first we know about it. So there you go. So you can see hang on. So you can see there, I'm losing part of my HF because some of the bamboo poles are right on the fence line. So if they move the fence, goodbye bamboo poles. Alright. Alright. The XYL was there and she heard someone playing her didn't have a look, and it was yeah, and they were doing wine tastings. So she went back home and got me and took me down there, and this was my favourite one. So she goes, okay, we'll buy it. So she must have been in a really good mood that day. Alright, I'll keep playing the video. Just a bit about the people doing the works next door. So I'll mute my microphone. Okay, Tuesday today. You can hear the background things working. One of them. So they're making the foundations for 2 apartments, like 2 small homes. So yeah, it looks like work's definitely started, so there's going to be that much noise. Here, what you hear now, that typically starts at about 20 minutes to 7, or quarter to 7, the last few days. But our bedroom's on the other side, so the neighbours on the other side probably... So we're in the... I can hear the back sound, but not... Okay, that's all we've got. We don't seem to be getting in that. Well, we'll say cheers.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Mick. Yeah, it's unfortunate you weren't quite getting in, but not to worry, you gave it a good go. Okay, thanks everyone for tuning in this evening. We have 15 watching on Richard's YouTube feed, so thanks everyone for signing in. I see there's quite a few people that are regulars, so hi there all. Once again, thanks for tuning in. It's really welcome. We really appreciate the people watching. Hopefully you'll tune in again next week. So that's about it from me. So we'll see you all next week. Hopefully a few more stations will be available for transmit as well. So cheers guys. See you next week.